Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on a major change to Disney Plus in India. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So today on Valentine's Day, Disney has made a major change to Disney Plus Hotstar in India because it is now merged with Cinema to create JioHotstar. That's right, Disney Plus Hotstar in India no longer exists in its current format. This is because Disney signed a new deal with Reliance, and they signed it late last year. It's a billion-dollar company now because they've basically merged all of Star India, which was Disney's Indian division, merged it in with Reliance, and they've now created this new super division. And Hotstar now is kind of incorporated with all of the content from Cinema, which included HBO, Paramount. You also had in there Peacock content, all kinds of stuff. So now it's like a super streaming service. You've got all the Disney content, so in there now they've got hubs for like Disney, Marvel, Nat Geo, etc. Along with, like I said, HBO, NBC Universal, Paramount. Loads and loads of content in there. Even more sports content now, because ironically it was Reliance that kind of managed to get all the rights to the big cricket in India, which kind of ended up being the lead off to why we saw this big change in India. So let's take a step back first off and do a little bit of a history lesson. So when Disney purchased 20th Century Fox back in 2019, it acquired Hotstar. Rather than kind of, they were just getting ready to launch off a brand new streaming service, Disney Plus. And they thought, well, rather than building a brand new one in India, we've got one of the biggest ones. They rebranded it in 2020 to Disney Plus Hotstar, bringing in tens of millions of subscribers, drastically boosted up the Disney Plus subscriber numbers globally. And yeah, it was going along quite nicely. However, one of the big problems with the Indian market, as far as Disney as a global platform is concerned, was that it was making a lot less per subscriber than it was in other countries. About less than $1 per subscriber per month in India compared to like $6, $7, $8 in other countries. So as you can see, you could have 60 million subscribers in India, but it was only equivalent of maybe 6 million in like Europe. So that was a big problem. And they didn't want to spend billions of dollars trying to buy the rights to the cricket. But when they didn't buy it, because Reliance got it, what happened then was loads of people left Disney Plus Hotstar, and it's just been hemorrhaging subscribers. And obviously there was a big change in Disney with Bob Iger coming back. And in an interview, he said that not all countries are equal and Disney Plus might not exist as it is in some countries, as they were looking to make more money. So one of the big changes they did was that by teaming up with Reliance, they've now created a brand new company called, it wasn't going to be Star India, now it looks like it's called JioHotstar. And that's incorporating all of this content all in one place. Disney has about 37% stake in this company. It allows them to keep one kind of foot in India. They've still got a big company there, still making them money. But now they're no longer almost running it on a day-to-day business. They can leave that to people that much more know the market. And it might work a little bit differently. What they have been doing then is kind of prepping up ready for the changeover to Disney Plus Hotstar and Cinema coming together. They've done so. If you're a subscriber to either one of them, you've now got a subscription. So if you've got subscriptions to both, you might just want to go in. I think there was a lot of people starting to get messages this week telling them that, there's one of their subscriptions was being cancelled. They started teasing it like just before Valentine's Day with little social media posts to each other, and then today it's all been upgraded, brand new colors, all new streaming service. Yeah, so essentially Disney Plus no longer exists in India. So yeah, big change. They've got lots of sports in there, lots of content. It's 3 different tiers. You've got like a mobile tier, a sort of a standard tier, and a premium tier without ads, and you can have like 4 devices. So big change. Lots of new technology has been brought into the app. There's lots of like AI stuff for the algorithm. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, there's been a few little technical hiccups on the first day. You'd expect that to happen. But yeah, big change. It also means from Disney's point of view now, they're no longer having the losses of Disney Plus Hotstar in India on their balances, which has helped boost up the streaming service division. Also now they're just getting revenue from India into the US division. So that's helping them just shuffle the books around a little bit. But so this is going to be a big change for Disney Plus. This is why we've seen a drastic reduction in the amount of subscribers globally when you look at their financial figures. Now they're no longer giving us Disney Plus subscriber numbers for India, and they've kind of rejigged it around a bit. So they lost a lot, but technically they're still subscribed, they're still getting money some way. It's just no longer through Disney Plus, but it's going to hopefully make Disney Plus internationally a little bit stronger now that they can focus on one app. Now the big question is how this is going to impact on us outside of India, because I think there are going to be some ripple effects. So first off, let's talk about Disney Plus Hotstar existing in some other countries in Southeast Asia, including Indonesia, Malaysia and Thailand. I wouldn't be at all surprised if in the coming months ahead those get rebranded to just Disney Plus, because they've already said they've reallocated those subscribers to the international one. That would make sense. So that's one thing I could see happening at some point, to get away from that Disney Plus Hotstar branding, because it kind of doesn't really need necessarily to be there in the same way. And it's been around a while, they could do something of that one. Also, in some countries, like in Middle East, Africa, and some European countries and across Asia, there's a separate Disney Plus app which is operated on like Hotstar X. It's a slightly different version of the app. Whether or not that's going to change because of the new company that exists, or whether or not they're going to bring over the standard version of Disney Plus so everyone's on the same app. Personally, I would rather they have one app everywhere. That way it can improve and be better, and they can make tweaks to it and just have the single app. This is what they need to do across the world, is trim down the amount of apps they've got so they can concentrate. This might not happen overnight, but I could see it happening at one point in the future. Next thing, the Star brand. I've been talking about this for a long time. I personally do believe that what they're going to end up doing is that when they finalize whatever they're doing with Hulu in the United States and they do merge them, I could easily see the Star Hub internationally become Hulu, and then you've got a global brand. It makes things a lot easier for marketing and having, not having all these different words and brands, because essentially the Star brand originally kind of came from India, from that Fox division, so it never really had a huge amount of connection internationally outside of Asia. And yeah, I definitely could see that being something that happens in the future. There's also the problem with Hotstar. How's that going to be affected? Does that Hotstar brand just exist now within India, and they've got licensing? Because there's a lot of Hotstar content on Hulu in the United States. But interesting enough, it never got moved into Disney Plus when they launched the Hulu on Disney Plus. It never got put in there. Also, they never incorporated all the Indian content into Disney Plus globally. They were bringing in the Korean and the Japanese, but the Indian content wasn't really coming in. Hotstar still runs as a separate service like here in the UK. Little things that they could sort out. Also interesting, there was an interview with Deadline, and they were talking about like global ambitions and stuff, and I was a bit like, I don't know how that they're going to, maybe make JioHotstar, a major streaming service again globally with all the Indian content, and kind of build out Hotstar again that way. Might be something they want to do, but they're not going to have access to all the Disney and other bits and pieces that they've got globally. I can't see that happening. But it's going to be, as I said, a little bit interesting to see what happens in the future. The fallout from, changing companies and moving things around. Sometimes Disney doesn't move that fast, but we could just see randomly some little changes coming up in the future. When they brought 20th Century Fox, it took them a couple of years to kind of sort of get rid of that Fox branding from around the world in different places. So, I don't know. It's just Hotstar stuff. I'm just not sure how that's going to work. Maybe Disney Plus could license the content from Hotstar, and I don't know if they maybe want to do that. Who knows? The fact they never did that to me was always a little bit of a warning sign, a red flag, as you would, like there was something going on here. But yeah, so now Disney Plus Hotstar no longer exists in India. It's now JioHotstar. So a very interesting step forward. It kind of seemed to definitely seem, we knew it was going to happen, didn't know when. For India, this is going to be a big thing. If you're a subscriber to that, you've got so much more access. There are obviously some other issues that could come in. Lack of competition in the area is going to force down amount of shows being created. It could push up prices. But their other argument is that being in one big unit now means that they can offer better value for money and get more subscribers. Yes, it's a big change, but let me know what you think. Do you think this is a good move, a bad move? Love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think is going to happen with like Star and Hotstar globally with the brand? Do you think it'll stay as is? Do you think they'll move it around? Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.